Finding the money to educate Oklahoma's rising student population will again be one of the legislature's top priorities this year. Lawmakers this week heard from the State Department of Education, which laid out an ambitious plan to build on the momentum from a special session last year, which resulted in an historic tax increase and the first across-the-board teacher pay raise in years.
The State Department of Education typically accounts for more than half the state budget, and this year looks to be no exception. State Superintendent of Public Instruction Joy Hoffmeister told lawmakers her agency needs more than $3.3 billion next year, an increase of more than $440 million over the current year's budget.
Last session, teachers told you about their number one priority, and that was investment in the classroom and resources to support the children in their classrooms.
The budget request stems from the department's 8-year EDGE plan and includes 6 goals to improve education between now and 2025, including reducing the need for emergency certified teachers by 95%, achieving a top 20 ranking in the National Assessment of Academic Progress, rank in the top 10 in high school graduation rates, reducing the need for college remediation by half, creating an individual career academic plan for students, and ensuring that 75% of kids are ready to read by kindergarten. During a special session last year, the legislature passed tax increases totaling about $480 million to pay for average teacher pay hikes of $6,100. This year's budget request does not include another teacher pay raise, but Hoffmeister pointed out that even with last year's increase, Oklahoma teachers currently rank 3rd in the region and 36th in the nation in average pay.
Using the numbers available to us right now at this moment, an additional $3,000 raise is needed to reach first in the region, with an estimated total cost of $176 million.
And that pay disparity with other states contributes to Oklahoma's ongoing teacher shortage and the record number of emergency certified teachers in the classroom.
We want to reduce the need for emergency certified teachers by 95%. So a lot has to happen to take away that pressing need.
One of Hoffmeister's major goals is reducing class sizes, which have ballooned in recent years. Data shows that since 2010, the average number of students has risen by more than 40,000, while the number of teachers has been on a steady decline.
We cannot continue to see this gap widen and widen year after year if we are going to have increased outcomes for student learning.
Reform legislation passed in 1990 mandates class sizes of no more than 20 students in grades 1 through 5 and a maximum of 140 students per day for teachers in grades 6 through 12. But funding shortfalls have led to a moratorium on those limits. Hoffmeister is asking for $273 million to address the class size issue.
So in order to achieve what is needed for the introduction again of penalty for a school not meeting those reform efforts of House Bill 1017, then we know we would need this number infused back into the funding formula to be able to hire the teachers that are required to achieve those class size limits.
Hoffmeister is also asking for additional funds to hire more academic and licensed professional counselors for schools. While the recommended student counselor ratio is 250 to 1, Oklahoma's ratio is 435 to 1.
So we are asking that the legislature will make a strategic investment in a school counselor corps of $58 million.
Hoffmeister concedes that reversing the state's teacher shortage and providing more counselors won't be accomplished overnight.
And thank goodness last year was really the big, I think, mark of investment that the state made because of those with courage in the legislature who said we're going to make it a priority, and that kind of momentum can't be lost.
Lawmakers insist that education remains one of their top priorities, but warn that there are limits to what the legislature can accomplish. Senate Appropriations Chair Roger Thompson says other agencies are also asking for increases in their budgets, hoping to tap an expected surplus in the General Revenue Fund.
I do appreciate the Department of Education putting forward a plan and that we can get to being the type of school that they want to be in the top 10. However, as of today, we have about $3.5 billion of new requests to take out of $612 million if we had all the $612 million.
And Thompson says the actual surplus will fall far short of that number.
From my estimation of where we are today, and if everything stays neutral where we are today, snapshot in time, we're probably looking at around about $200 million, $250 million, of something like that of new money.
For the Senate Republican caucus, the top education priority will be to reverse the trend of school districts going to 4-day school weeks. Senate Majority Floor Leader Kim David says the message sent by 4-day weeks has hurt Oklahoma on the national stage.
We've had difficulties bringing in businesses. It's hurt our workforce. So if we can incentivize schools to go back to 5-day school week, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to look for ways to do that.
Senate President Pro Tem Greg Treat says exemptions to the 5-day school week could still be included.
So if the school can both show there's an economic savings and that there's no adverse impact on student achievement, there will be reasonable exceptions in the bill. Otherwise, 5-day school week will be restored.